the main area of low pressure spinning its way on up toward Vancouver, but there's actually another one out beyond that. And the subtropical feed of moisture coming right in off the Pacific is continuing. Folks in Northern California, at least the Weather Service office, is calling this the hose. Yeah, it's like a fire hose just pointed right here into California and southern Oregon and spilling all the way over into Idaho. Some of these rainfall tallies up here in the northern parts of California, I think, are going to be very, very high. And consequently, we're going to be talking about some pretty nasty flooding. I was just reading a new weather statement out of the San Francisco area expecting some flooding, moderate flooding along the Napa River here in the next 24 hours, and along the Russian River at Guerneville. You may remember that name from 2 years ago. There was some pretty nasty flooding there. This could be as bad as that. Let's hope it's not any worse. But it looks like right now we're expecting the Russian River to crest at about 46 feet. So it's way above, going to be way above flood stage during New Year's Day, and there could be some major flooding of homes in Guerneville and also a lot of roadways closed there along the lower Russian River Valley. So some nasty things there. Look at all this moisture just continuing to pile into Northern California and up into extreme southwest Oregon. Lighter rains, but rain nonetheless up around Portland and Seattle. So again, very mild air helping to melt some of that snowpack that we've had so recently here since last weekend. That's going to continue to cause not only flooding in many of the rivers and streams here, but a very high avalanche danger as well. So be very, very careful traveling anywhere. In fact, travel probably not recommended in some areas here in the Northwest during the overnight hours and on into the early part of the day on New Year's Day. All right, if you have to travel, travel with caution. Let's go back to the weather map and check it all out. Again, see all these lines very close together? That's another thing I wanted to mention here. The high winds, those are isobars, or lines of equal pressure, and the pressure gradient, if you will, or difference in pressure, helping to cause some extremely gusty winds along the coast. That's why there are storm warnings, which means winds over 55 miles an hour from the Strait of Juan de Fuca all the way down along the Oregon, Washington, and Northern California coast, and gale warnings up southern Puget Sound and along the central California coast, including San Francisco and Monterey Bays. Of course, flood watches are up in many areas, Northern California, into parts of Oregon and Washington. Snow levels are fairly high, though. We'll get to more of that in a moment. I wanted to talk about some of these rainfall tallies. We'll be updating these as we head through the overnight hours. These are just over 24-hour totals, though, not since the weekend, but from this latest storm. And you can see Blue Canyon over 4 inches and Ocean Shores well over 2.5. I would not be surprised at all that in the next 24 hours we're going to get some unbelievable rainfall tallies out of this storm, probably upwards of 7, 8, 9, even 10 inches of rain, and maybe some isolated what we call orographically favored areas, or where there's some upsloping going on. And there is a lot of that. That moisture banks up against the mountains. The air is lifted, and it just squeezes the atmosphere like a sponge. And what you're getting is locally 4, 5, maybe 6 more inches of rain here. Again, flooding, not just a possibility, but a probability in many of the rivers here in the Sacramento Valley and along the Northern California coast up into southwest Oregon. Snow, highest of elevations here in California, well up over 9 or 10,000 feet. That's up above pass level for most folks. Watch the high winds in the mountains here too, though. And then the snow levels lower a bit. It's now 32 degrees up there at Stampede Pass, whereas it had been snowing heavily. Now at pass level, it is raining heavily, which could cause some avalanche problems and some more flooding problems as well, so not necessarily a great improvement. And watch out for the fog here, folks. That's going to be another big travel misery overnight. And a lot of folks out on this New Year's Eve, boy, you best be very careful here. Don't want to hear about a lot of accidents anywhere from the central Mississippi Valley, the Ohio Valley, down into the southeast and the mid-Atlantic. And to add insult to injury, a little bit of freezing rain and sleet and maybe some light snow from northern Wisconsin into Michigan and the upper parts of Minnesota. Temperatures way above normal, really, for most of the country. The exception to that up here in New England. But look at all these record high temperatures. From the Battery in Charleston at 78, Sacramento at 63, a wet and mild day. Pocatello, Boise, and Salt Lake City getting into the act as well. The only really cold spot in the whole country is here in the Northeast. Cold in Times Square, where they're getting close to bringing down the old apple. And look at that wind chill. Hope everybody's bundled up there. Coming up here, we'll take you traveling, show you where the trouble spots are.
Power, very high powered.
The power of the Phantom is phenomenal.
Presenting the powerful Phantom Thunder vacuum cleaner.
It almost looks like the perfect shampoo.
Bags. Call now and more power to you.
Ahead on WeatherScope, making plans for New Year's? Get the latest forecast for the nation and your region. Coming up on WeatherScope after your local forecast.
And now it's time for the Michelin Drivers Report, brought to you by Michelin and your participating Michelin dealers.
Can't think of a more miserable New Year's Eve in Northern California. Places like Sexton Summit, Klamath Falls, Redding, Red Bluff, up to Arcata and Crescent City and Ukiah. It's windy. It is tremendously wet. There's going to be some flooding problems here. Not so much snow as a problem, but wind and rain. There's been trees down into Oregon and probably into Northern California. Some power outages reported. It's just a mess here, folks. And a lot of snow melt to boot because the rain level is getting up into those higher elevations. So a miserable night in the northwest into Northern California. Scattered rain showers, and watch out for the dense fog overnight in the southeast. Talking about winds gusting to, that's not a misprint, 100 miles an hour along parts of the Oregon and maybe Northern California coast. They've consistently been up over 50 and 60 miles an hour. And even into the Tahoe area, we've had a wind gust over 100 miles an hour just north of Lake Tahoe. Also some icy conditions in the northern parts of the Great Lakes. And the fog anywhere from Chicago down to Florida could be a mess tonight. Be very careful out driving. Well, the new year is coming up. Stay tuned to the Weather Channel.
At Michelin, we believe a tire that's just good in the rain isn't good enough. The Michelin X1 with a 6-year unlimited mileage tread life warranty gives you better wet traction than any rain tire, plus Michelin confidence in most driving conditions. It has to, because the way we see it, you don't just cover a lot of miles, you cover a lot of weather. The Michelin X1.
Find Michelin tires at this dealer near you, because so much is riding on your tires.
Ahead on WeatherScope, the Pacific Coast braces itself for more rain as another storm moves in. We'll have the latest update, plus a look at your New Year's forecast coming up on WeatherScope.
This is your local forecast. Weather information you can plan on, only on the Weather Channel. This is a special edition of WeatherScope. Up-to-the-minute forecasts and comprehensive coverage of the nation's weather from the Weather Channel forecast team.
You are looking at live pictures now from Times Square. The apple has just dropped, officially heralding in the new year. A lot of excitement there, and those folks you see there are some very brave people, because the temperature now in Times Square, 16 degrees. Very cold air in place for those brave partiers who are heralding in the first moments of 1997. Well, there's quite a contrast in the other side of the country. You've got quite a bit of stormy weather to contend with, not cold weather, but another strong storm moving in, bringing in more rain and more wind. And one of the areas affected has been Washington, Aberdeen. The earlier storms leaving the mark there. Crews today are finally making headway in removing debris from a landslide that's blocked Highway 12 since Sunday. The work hasn't been easy, with rain coming down sporadically today, loosening more earth from the surrounding hills. So it's going to be a problem up and down the west coast from Washington and Oregon southward into northern California as this strong storm affects the area. Again, the wind and the heavy rain with warmer temperatures and snow melt is going to add to flooding problems there, and we have the ground very saturated, the tree roots not very solid with the ground loosened, and with those strong winds, it's going to be uprooting trees. That's going to be among the many problems you'll have to contend with throughout this area. Another threat is mudslides as well as avalanche danger here. Right now we're looking at the wet weather, though, from northern California on up the west coast into western Washington and western Oregon. And again, with those warmer temperatures, it's generally snowed just at the highest elevations. So into Seattle we go. You're continuing to get the wet weather from Everett to Seattle to Olympia to Toledo. And we've got some high wind warnings to tell you about for western Washington, as well as western and south central Oregon and northern California. And to Portland and the Dalles, rain continuing here southward to Salem and Eugene. And again, you've got those windy conditions too, worst along the coastal areas, but even inland, especially in western Washington, western Oregon, you're going to have the problems there as well. Now, as we head a little farther southward into northern California, a number of problems here. Windy conditions, winds gusting 50, 60 or more miles per hour, particularly a problem along the coast and in the higher terrain, but elsewhere the windy conditions troublesome as well. You've had over 2.5 inches of rain in Blue Canyon. That's just one example of one of the areas affected. And we're joined now by Janice Atkinson with the Sonoma County, California Emergency Services. And Ms. Atkinson, we know that you've been having some problems there. Among the problems, power outages.
Yes, just recently we had a report that the Guerneville substation has lost power. All of the residents along the Russian River area from Monterey to Rio Neto are now without power. This is one of our heaviest hit areas with the flood, and we are hoping that people will take this time to evacuate now, because more storms are headed our way, and we're expecting very high river levels by tomorrow.
So the Russian River is one of the areas affected. What's the situation with the Russian River at this point?
Currently, the Russian River is over flood stage. It has leveled off a little bit. It could possibly even drop slightly over the next few hours. However, there is another storm headed in. We understand that we're supposed to receive approximately 3 inches of rain between 4 a.m. On Wednesday morning and 4 p.m. Wednesday afternoon. That being the case, we're expecting to get approximately 13 feet over flood stage in the Guerneville area.
All right, Mrs. Atkinson with the Sonoma County Emergency Services, thank you very much for that information. So once again, we head back to our radar picture, and the Russian River, one of the rivers to be affected, as well as the Eel, the Feather, the American, the Shasta rivers, all here in northern California. And again, with more rain coming in, as Ms. Atkinson mentioned, it's just going to aggravate the problem, and the river's already rising, and that's just going to aggravate the situation. We have the wind to contend with, windy conditions, marine warnings in effect up and down the west coast from Cape Flattery to Point Sal. We have got winds over 55 miles per hour, especially from northern California on northward. Winds well over 55 miles per hour will not at all be uncommon. So we will continue to keep you updated on our western storm, but for now we head back to the studio with Jeff and our forecast.
All right, Kristina, and I want to take this moment to wish everybody, at least in the Eastern Time Zone, a happy new year, 1997, finally upon us. And as Kristina was just showing us, some nasty weather ushering in the new year in the west. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the travel trouble spots, at least early on the New Year's Eve. Last day of 1996 in New York, where there was some freezing rain problems on some bridges and some overpasses. Also some snow for southern New England. Definitely some slick conditions, and there were some accidents reported Happy to say that that has pretty much cleared out now, though the temperatures remain cold. For New Orleans, it was fog. These shots along I-10 between New Orleans and Slidell, where there were major accidents. Visibilities at times during the morning hours on New Year's Eve were down to about 50 feet, so you can see why there were so many accidents. Unfortunately, at least one fatality and many injuries reported. And more dense fog is forming overnight tonight. And of course, there will be lots of New Year's Eve, New Year's Day revelers out there, and it is going to be a major, major problem as far as folks are concerned. We're talking about lots of fog out there. Everywhere you see painted in yellow, anywhere from Iowa, where there's freezing drizzle thrown in to add insult to injury, on over into Illinois and Wisconsin, right down into Texas and Louisiana. So those scenes that we just saw there along I-10, north of New Orleans along the Pontchartrain, could happen again, probably will overnight tonight, right on up into parts of central and southern Mississippi and Alabama and Georgia. So lots of fog out there to deal with, folks. Be very, very, very careful. Now, we've also got some rain to talk about. A little bit of rain has moved pretty much out of the Phoenix area. Still light rain around Tucson, Fort Huachuca, Douglas. Now moving on over to El Paso. Good thing they got the Sun Bowl in on New Year's Eve. As we head down along the Gulf Coast, some light rain for the New Year's Eve revelers here. We still have about 53 minutes to go before the new year ushers in here in the central time zone. Houston, a little bit of rain. Corpus Christi, a little bit of rain. And, of course, some dense fog thrown in places as well, so be careful. Also, lots of fog here. You can't see that on the radar. What you can see is a lot of the rain moving out of the Big Easy right on up through Hattiesburg, and looks like Mobile kind of bracketed between rain. The heaviest thunderstorms are right offshore here, and from the mouth of the Mississippi over to Pascagoula, special marine warnings out because of those big storms out there. There's the fog all the way up into Iowa. Yeah, the little orange areas here all the way up through Minnesota and eastern North Dakota. That's freezing rain and drizzle, not showing up very well on the radar to the south. Most of this is light snow moving through International Falls. Duluth and the Arrowhead could cause some slick conditions there overnight. Precipitation is pretty much wound down here in the east. Some light snow up in upstate New York and maybe some ocean effect coming in over Cape Cod. But the main deal here is the cold air. Folks out of Times Square tonight definitely had to brave the cold air. It's 17 degrees, 5 at Boston, with a wind chill there of 5 below. Whew, brave souls for sure. 19 degrees below is what it feels like in Boston, and 35 below up at Holton and Limestone, Maine, 5 below in the Twin Cities. So some cold stuff. Will that continue, and where's our West Coast storm going to go? Well, let's follow that storm as it moves inland. Unfortunately, folks, still kind of a fire hose of moisture moving right up here off the Pacific into Northern California. I'm afraid we're going to be talking about some major flooding problems in Northern California, the Napa River potentially. Of course, we just talked about the Russian River and many of the other rivers and streams, even up into Oregon and parts of Washington, because you have to add not only the additional rain, but some snow melt in on top of that. It's going to be a bad, bad situation. Light rain in the south, but enough to make it a bit of a mess. Snow levels in the west pretty high until you head up into the Oregon and Washington Cascades. In Washington, snow levels about 4,000 feet right now. And then the cold air overnight here in the northeast. Ouch, that's really cold. That's the coldest air in the country here in central northern New England. Highs only in the single numbers and teens from the Allagash over to the Green and White Mountains. 20s down into central PA, places like State College and Williamsport. There's the mild air over the south for the first few days of 1997. Are there any big changes over the upcoming weekend? Well, we have some cool air moving south. By no means is it bitterly cold, but it's cold. We've got some teens and 20s moving into the northern plains, dropping readings down to a little bit more what they should be, I guess, for this time of the year. Some light snow or freezing rain on Thursday up in extreme northern New England, and then some more moisture in the west. But I think things should, that's no guarantee, start to calm down here as we head on through the weekend, Saturday, and probably right on into Sunday. Some of this wet weather heads right on over to the eastern seaboard. Uh-oh. And, of course, everybody knows it was the new year, and I think I'm about to get showered here, folks. So go ahead, guys. Let it go.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
Anyway, thank you, Dave. Anyway, Happy New Year.
You are a machine, a force to be reckoned with. To keep all pistons firing, you've got to feed the machine and the fuel you need. is right here in Men's Health. Get rock-hard abs now, 6 different ways, and no sit-ups. Discover superfoods for instant energy and fat burning. Eat what you want and still lose weight. Only Men's Health delivers the latest information that talks to real guys, like the ultimate 20-minute workout to sculpt a body that says power. Call for your free trial issue. Keep it and get a full year for $19.97. You'll also get 3 books free. 100 Ways to Burn Fat Faster, The Men's Health Guide to Intimacy, and Quick and Healthy Cooking for Men. When it comes to romance, Men's Health reveals what she really wants and shows you how to make your relationship intense and incredibly pleasurable. Subscribe now for just $19.97. Cancel anytime and keep the free books. You're a machine. Try Men's Health today. Beat the machine.
This is your local forecast. Information you can plan on, because now we show it on the 8th of every hour. Local on the 8s on the Weather Channel.
Weapon. Suspect is firing off. A dangerous suspect tries to escape. And a deadly game of cat and mouse begins. Suspect running west. These are hot pursuits. Now, for the first time, Keen World Direct and Sky Action Video bring you this dramatic footage of real-life high-speed chases as they're seen from the sky above. Hot Pursuits is available only through this special television offer. Hot Pursuits will keep you on the edge of your seat. Satisfaction guaranteed. Call this toll-free number now to get Hot Pursuits for just $19.95. Order now with your credit card, and you'll also receive Dangerous Rescues absolutely free. That's right. Both adrenaline-pumping programs are yours for only $19.95. This incredible television offer is not available in stores, so call now.
For rush delivery, get your credit card ready and call 1-800-954-8448. That's 1-800-954-8448, or send your check or money order to the...
Stay ahead of winter weather. Watch the Winter Weather Update at 50 past the hour on the Weather Channel. Our team of experts continuously monitor winter's fast-moving weather systems and bring you an up-to-the-minute forecast every hour. One complete report that lets you know when and where temperatures will plunge, where snowstorms are developing, how much snow they'll bring, and where travel may be dangerous. The Winter Weather Update at 50 past the hour, only on the Weather Channel, sponsored by Presto.
Time to check those ski slopes, folks. We'll start in the east. Hunter Mountain, 2 new inches, and Sugar Bush, 4. Temperature's definitely cold up there in central northern New England, even down into PA to make some snow finally. So I'm sure a lot of the resorts will. Killington, 3 new inches of natural snow. Steamboat has a new inch. Boy, 100% open there. Whistler, a foot. Winter Park looking good. Purgatory, working on some earlier season snow. Park City, hard packed, but 100% open. Snow right now at the higher elevations in the west, but more moisture coming on shore here, so more snow continuing to fall. Let's check out these resort reports.
Do you want to make more money? Of course, we all do. So call this toll-free number to find out how easy it is to train at home for a better career. At ICS, more than 10 million men and women have trained for job promotions and new careers without ever setting foot inside a classroom. And now at home in your spare time, you can get your career diploma or even your degree. Choose from any one of these courses. Then call toll-free for free information about training with ICS.
Call 1-800-367-5800 right now for free information.
Stay ahead of winter weather. Watch the winter weather update at 50 past the hour on the Weather Channel. Our team of experts continuously monitor winter's fast-moving weather systems and bring you an up-to-the-minute forecast every hour. One complete report that lets you know when and where temperatures will plunge, where snowstorms are developing, how much snow they'll bring, and where travel may be dangerous. The winter weather update at 50 past the hour, only on the Weather Channel, sponsored by Presto.
Now there's a fast, easy way to complete your federal income tax return that guarantees accuracy. TaxMate software, free from Parsons Technology, automatically performs all calculations and prints IRS-approved tax forms and schedules on your printer. TaxMate interviews you. It determines which forms and schedules you need, guiding you through the process of completing your return. TaxMate includes the most commonly used forms and schedules. Just print, sign, and you're done. Doing your taxes has never been easier. TaxMate's calculations are guaranteed accurate. Should you be assessed an IRS penalty caused by a fault in TaxMate, we, not you, will pay the penalty. This $39 value is yours free as our way of introducing you to the latest in personal tax return preparation and high-performance software from Parsons Technology. All you pay is $8.95 for shipping and handling. But hurry, offer limited to the first 250,000 orders.
Call now, 1-800-223-8941. That's 1-800-223-8941.
WeatherScope. It's all the weather you want. Every 30 minutes on the hour and half hour on the Weather Channel.
Gardeners, if you love beautiful gardens full of garden fresh vegetables, big beautiful flowers and elegant landscape plantings, but hate the time and backbreaking work it takes, here's great news. Introducing the affordable Troy-Built Pony, designed and built especially for home gardeners. The Troy-Built Pony is an amazing time and work saver, turning any soil into perfect planting beds quickly and easily, working rich organic matter into your soil, building exciting new flower gardens and border plantings. You can even reseed your lawn or dig a deep trench for planting shrubs. Plus, you'll love having your own garden fresh vegetables all season long. So if you want to learn more about getting results like this, the fast, easy Troy-Built way, call for your free catalog today. Call now and we'll also include complete details on our Troy-Built Easy Payment Plan.
For your free catalog featuring the Pony and our whole line of Troy-Built tillers, including our no money down easy payment plan, call toll-free 1-800-908-4300. That's 1-800-908-4300. Call now.
This is your local forecast, and stay tuned. The national outlook is just ahead in our 5-day planner.
Time for a look at the next 5 days, and guess what? It is colder in 1997 than it was in 1996. What do I mean by that? Well, it's 6 degrees in Boston and 9 in Buffalo, 17 in New York City. It is now 1997, but in the central time zone where it's still 96, it's warm. 33 in Chicago, 54 in Little Rock, and 61 in Houston. And you work your way deeper back into 1996, and it is still mild after a high temperature in the 60s today in Denver. But it's a new year, and winter is back here in the Northeast, thanks to cold, high pressure and those northwest winds taking the wind chill value down in Caribou, Maine to -56. That is cold, but this is the last vestige of the super cold Arctic air that came down.
Just flesh and bone. I am not bound by fear or doubt. I am the wind.
Like sports, Little Caesars Sports Pizza. 2 football pizzas, free life-size poster, box-top game, $10.99. Carried out or have it delivered.
Pizza. Stay ahead of winter weather. Watch the winter weather update at 50 past the hour on the Weather Channel. Our team of experts continuously monitor winter's fast-moving weather systems and bring you an up-to-the-minute forecast every hour. One complete report that lets you know when and where temperatures will plunge, where snowstorms are developing, how much snow they'll bring, and where travel may be dangerous. The winter weather update at 50 past the hour, only on the Weather Channel, sponsored by Prestone. Know what to expect. Watch our 5-day planner 20 minutes after every hour on the Weather Channel. No place on Earth has better weather.
This skier's forecast is sponsored by Park City Visitors Bureau. Check out the locally reported ski conditions at our website. Well, as we check some ski conditions at various locations around the country right now, Snowshoe reporting loose granular in West Virginia, Sugarbush packed powder, and Hunter Mountain reporting powder. Killington is groomed as Boyne is, Okemo loose granular. Steamboat, Whistler, and Winter Park are all in with packed powder conditions and 100% open. Vail, Colorado, and Park City, hard pack at Park City, packed powder though, Purgatory and Vail. Now check out some local ski conditions from where you live.
City, Utah. No ski town in the country is easier to get to. With 540 flights daily, you could decide today that you want to ski here today and do it. We're just 40 minutes from the Salt Lake City International Airport. Park City Ski Area, Deer Valley Resort, and Wolf Mountain. 4,200 acres of incredible diverse terrain and the greatest snow on Earth. For a free vacation planner or to order our winter video with the American Express card, call 1-800-453-1360.
When it hurts so much you can hardly swallow ordinary food, get Vicks Chloraseptic Spray. It numbs sore throat pain on contact with a powerful anesthetic for fast, effective relief. Vicks Chloraseptic Spray quickly numbs the pain away. Got a painful canker sore? Get Vicks Chloraseptic Spray. It numbs canker sore pain on contact with a powerful anesthetic for fast, effective relief. Vicks Chloraseptic Spray quickly numbs the pain away.
Stay ahead of winter weather. Watch the winter weather update at 50 past the hour on the Weather Channel. Our team of experts continuously monitor winter's fast-moving weather systems and bring you an up-to-the-minute forecast every hour. One complete report that lets you know when and where temperatures will plunge, where snowstorms are developing, how much snow they'll bring, and where travel may be dangerous. The winter weather update at 50 past the hour, only on the Weather Channel, sponsored by Presto.
It's the Carol Wright Shoppers Best Awards, featuring an envelope full of brand name values and special savings, brought to you by Carol Wright. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. May I have the envelope, please?
Start the year right with valuable discounts on helpful products and special offers for every member of the family. And enter to win a Canyon Ranch vacation and more, now coming your way from Carol Wright.
And the winner is you. Look for your Carol Wright mailing and say, may I have the envelope, please?
The key question in safe winter driving is not whether you can go, it's whether you can stop. SCC's patented Z products guarantee excellent stopping control because they make constant contact with the road. Could these be the best traction products for safety, convenience, and durability?
Security Chain Company for the traction you need.
Get detailed ski conditions for over 200 resorts on the Weather Channel website, www.weather.com. No place on earth has better weather.
Witness a father's struggle to hold his family together. One woman's courage to love again. Now inspiring bestsellers spring to life in a spectacular video collection based on the novels of Danielle Steele. Your first cassette, Danielle Steele's Kaleidoscope, is just $4.95 with subscription. Jacqueline Smith and Perry King star in the saga of three sisters reunited after decades apart. Escape to Europe in Danielle Steele's Jewels to find an empire built on love and ambition. And Danielle Steele's Heartbeat will touch you with its tale of modern love. It's yours in this breathtaking video collection based on Danielle Steele's cherished novels.
I've never met a woman that I've wanted as much as I want you.
The stories that have won hearts around the world. Now yours on home video. Order today and get swept away.
You'll cherish this video collection based on the novels of Danielle Steele. Your first video, Danielle Steele's Kaleidoscope, is just $4.95 plus shipping and handling. Call 1-800-270-1155. That's 1-800-270-1155.
This is your local forecast. And stay tuned. The national outlook is just ahead in our 5-day planner. Weather Channel. No place on Earth has better